Hello and welcome everybody. This is BisuDagger on the microphone. I welcome you to another cast. This is going to be the SSL round of 16 day 2, and our first matchup is going to be Mind versus Effort. As we watch the intro come into it, I hope you're all excited to see a beautiful TVZ. I'm very excited to see these two top level players play, and this may be the most exciting match of the 4 games being played. So the countdown's about to begin, and I can't wait to find out on NeoJade where these players are going to spawn. Going into the map now. It looks like we're going to see possibly the Terran at the bottom right. Yes, that is going to be Mind at the bottom right. And then at the top right location, it will be the Zerg player Effort. Mind looking very focused. He's the KSL winner. Yes, that's the Kongdu Stars League. Doing very well in this tournament. The only Terran to advance past the round of 24. Why? Because he did not have to play on Heartbreak Ridge, the map where all Terrans lost and died in the final series of those round of 24 matches. So the Zerg player Effort, he did advance for the round of 24 also. He did really well in his matches. I believe he advanced first by defeating Free, so seemed to have solved that ZVP problem if he had any at all. But coming against Mind, he's going to be having to tackle his first really tough opponent. I know that Free's good, but Free hasn't solved that PvZ matchup. But Mind's TvZ is actually quite phenomenal. And coming into league play, while Mind doesn't have an absolute ton of games, he does have a pretty good win rate against Zerg. Already playing 57 games, he has an 82% win rate. So voting for Effort in the Liquid bets might be a mistake if you have not looked at all the stats on Team Liquid. But we do have Effort here. He's done pretty well versus Terran. He's 8-8, so 50% win rate. He's taken down some good Terrans, but he's also lost some questionable games. Getting some decent results, though, early on. He's like one of the newest players to come from retiring from StarCraft 2 and returning to the SOSPA era of Brood War. So very exciting so far. We're seeing the hatchery go down for Effort. Just taking a look at these games, how these players are going to be expanding out here. I'm really hoping for a long macro game on this NeoJade map. I would say it is a Terran favored map, and so that is also going to make things a little bit more difficult for Effort. Some really nice positions here you could take, whether you want to go with bioplay. Eventually when you get to tanks, the tanks are going to be the ones that are going to try and control the area. Thank goodness for Zerg, though, there's that wide open middle, and Effort's going to be able to use that to his advantage, trying to catch Mind. Once it gets into a late enough game, he can manage what types of units he wants to send around the map to pick off the small groups that Mind is going to have to be transporting. So can he pick off the mech units, those tanks, when they're not in siege mode, with quick ling speed? That's going to be the case here. So the scout done for Effort. He does see where Mind is, down at the bottom right. He's seen everything with his drone, took a little damage from the SCV, and is just going to bring his drone back and put him to work. So third hatchery is going to be being put down inside his natural base. Spawning pool just finishing up now. He does have that gas build. And I wonder if this is going to be an aggressive build off 2 bases. You know, generally you can take that third hatchery inside your natural. You have the minerals at this point, and then it's about where are you going to take your third on this map. And I would say the top left corner is probably going to be the best location for his third. That main base at the 11 o'clock position is going to be absolutely the best place to go for Effort. So it looks like things are going to go smoothly so far in this game. No early harassment. It doesn't look like Marines are going to be coming out. There's not going to be this heavy Rax harassment here. But Mind is getting a good scout off. Meanwhile, he's building a command center inside of his natural base and trying to progress forward. Meanwhile, saying, how early do I need to get turrets? How early do I need to get scan? Are my academy upgrades really important right now? Or am I going to go mech? So there's a lot of choices right here for Mind that he has to go through. But generally, as a Terran player, you're going to have those choices made a little bit. They're going to be predetermined. And only will you make slight adjustments. So if he is going to be going for this bio build, he's probably already decided that he's going to go that direction. And now he's just got to decide what kind of buildings does he need to make sure he can defend himself from the muta attacks that are going to come. He's seeing the second gas at the natural base. That's definitely going to ensure that it will be 2-base muta into a transitioning macro game, I'm sure. Okay, so the engineering bay is done, and that's definitely going to say, along with the academy here, it's definitely going to say, yes, mine should be going bio. He's going to put a few more maxes down and get the upgrades, probably the +1 attack, so he can get that extra damage done. And then also put the range upgrade on the Marines so he could deal with the mutas coming in for these attacks. That range upgrade is so important because without it, mutas can really micro themselves out of getting hit by the Marines while doing that muta micro that Zerg players are really required to do in the ZVZ and the ZVT matchup in order to be good at this game. So there seems to be a little bit of a crowd around that bunker. And I wonder which one's called shotgun. Are the Marines going to be getting inside that bunker anytime soon? So, if you guys are just tuning in, this is BisuDagger on the microphone. XKCD is away. Sale is in France. So, it is going to be the solo cast of me today. It's been quite a while since I've done my solo casting. And, okay, so it looks like Mind is feeling a little bit of a threat by these lings that are out. But this is just that standard 6 lings that you put at the front of the base. For effort. It's kind of like in the PvT matchup where you put Dragoons at the front and you just kind of fire at the bunker. But no, it looks like maybe this is some valid concern because another set of lings are being brought in by effort and there's a possibility of a run by. That's the reason for those SCVs. You want to be able to block off that space while the Marines have enough time to take out the lings as they try and swarm through. Kind of like in that ZVP matchup where lings try and run past the cannons. Oh, but running in here, I don't think that there's going to be enough space for these lings to get through and do any damage. What he's going to want to do instead is maybe hide a group of lings. And as the Marines try and push out to that natural base, effort could run the lings in and try and do kind of a backstab approach to Mind's bases. So we're not seeing a third base yet. And the more and more that you don't see a third base being built, the more you feel like, wow, this could be a really all-in style build for effort. I thought that natural gas was a little bit late for an all-in on 2-base muta. Okay, and now we're seeing that there is a late game plan for effort. He is going to be putting down a third base, but definitely saving up those resources as much as possible to go into this muta effort. A couple of turrets are going to be being placed inside that natural base. I like where he put those 3 turrets. That's going to basically defend against those mutas pretty well. And he's actually putting perimeter turrets. Sometimes Terran players will leave turrets away from the barracks and just try and defend with their Marines alone. Mine knows that if he puts those turrets at the top, it may deter the mutas from just diving into the bottom right to attack that main mineral line. So this is this situation here that effort's in. He wants to try and get those Marines to stem as much as possible before they get to the natural base so that he can dwindle down that medic energy before they actually get there to engage at the natural. He's putting down 3 Sunkens, so that should be a good defense too. And wow, this is a sick run-in. He's got a lot of lings here. And how much damage can he get done? He might be able to take out the bunker and the supply depot at the same time, but it looks like the mutas aren't actually attacking anything. His efforts aren't being very focused here. An effort, he might have made a big mistake. He could have done so much more damage. Oh, taking out the SCV on that starport is going to set that back just a little bit here, but trying to run by these turrets, he's not going to be able to get any of them picked off. The Marines are in just too good of a position here. Now, with Stim still active on those Marines, they're going to be able to catch up to that main middle army. So the Bioforcers are still on the march, and it looks like Mind has determined he's going to go to the top left and see if there's a base up there. And if it is, it will be a worthwhile pursuit to lop off that additional mining base. So here comes this situation. The Lurkers need to defend against these Bioforces. The problem with Jade, though, is there's down ramps at these main bases, so it's a little bit easier for Marines to deal with Lurkers that could be blocking the ramp. And this is so close. He's not moving in with these Marines right away. It looks like the Lurkers are going to be able to burrow. The academy is done, though. Comsat station has been built at the bottom right main base for Mind. He should be able to use his detection if he wants to push in on that 3 o'clock. But no, he decides Mind's going to pull back. He doesn't want to deal with the mutas plus the Lurker threat. And now it looks like Effort's going to try and be very tricky here. He's trying to hold these lurkers in such a position, but the Marines, they're just going to skirt past the lurkers, going through the middle before they reroute up to the top right. So Effort, unfortunately, is not going to be able to catch those Marines with the burrowed lurkers. So he wisely lifts them back up and tries to reposition them, because he knows if he had the lurkers in the right position, the Marines would have walked over in that time slot period. So now it looks like we're going to see Hive Tech play. The Defiler Den is going to be on the way. Nidus canals are being built between the main and the third. So Effort, it looks like he's getting ready to be expansive, getting into this late macro game. So the starport inside of Mine's base, it is up. He's going to be building Science Vessels. Science Vessels are such a core unit here in this game. Being able to irradiate flocks of mutas is just going to eliminate that early game threat that is still floating around the map. Meanwhile, how is Effort going to deal with this? He's got to rely on Dark Swarms and Lurkers to deal with this early bio push. Okay, so we're seeing that this is a huge army for Mind. I don't know what upgrades he has. He probably doesn't have any mech upgrades, but he does have a few tanks with this bio push here. And oh my god, he's going to be catching these lurkers off guard, getting them pushed back here. I don't know if Effort's prepared for this push. This is a lot of bio coming in here. He does have 3 sunken colonies, and it looks like more reinforcements are on the way. This is such a critical time for Effort. He's got to get Dark Swarms out. Dark Swarms are absolutely the key to defending this. And his Defiler is done. Does he have Consume on his Defiler? Can he get the necessary energy and time? Getting these sunken so low right now. And oh my god, an Irradiate on that Defiler. That's just the worst of luck. So this Science Vessel paying in dividends right now. Being able to see those lurkers too in the back. The bio forces are pushing forward. It's going to eliminate all the sunkens. Does he have enough pushing forward with the Dark Swarm? The Marines are not going to be able to deal with these Lings. They're going to have to get pushed back. The tanks on siege wisely. And now it looks like Mind temporarily has been pushed back. Effort with a nice defense so far. Clutch Dark Swarm. And he's just going to hang on here. A 4th base being built at that 11 o'clock position here. So it looks like the main and natural over at the top left are going to be Efforts. Meanwhile, Mind's got to think about his game plan too. If he's not doing enough damage, a 3rd base is going to be necessary here. He's going to have to transition into 3 base Terran, possibly 4 base, if Effort can defend well enough here. Oh, but dropship play. He's got a few Marines down now. There's not even... Okay, there's 1 medic coming with that force here. And this is going to cause some pressure. I wonder if he's going to go for the Hydralisk Den. That would be pretty amusing here. If he takes out the Hydras, then he doesn't have to worry about the lurker threat. But no, he's just going straight for the drones. And you know what? He might have had enough time to focus down that Hive, and eliminating Hive Tech would have been so costly. But still, a lot of damage being done here. Lings coming in along with these mutas. He's going to be able to clean up this threat. Meanwhile, it looks like there's going to be pressure at that 4th base for Effort. He's having to defend on 2 fronts right now, basically seesawing between the left and the right side of the map with his forces. Is he going to be able to defend this? I don't know. Mind is playing so well right now. He's got just only Marines and Vultures at the left side of the base. He's moving on towards those mech units, transitioning into this late game that is so strong. Effort, though, he's hanging on here. He has really high APM. His multitasking has been proven to be top-notch just by watching his latter games. So this is looking to be very exciting here. As the Lings do push out, they do take out 1 tank. A nice move in there. A really good snipe. Just 2 Lings. That is a great trade. I would take that any day as a Zerg player here. So the dropships continuing to be a threat. The mutas are still alive though, and that's going to be very useful for Effort. He's going to pick up this dropship. The dropship, it's going to get caught off guard here, just going right over the cliff, but it looks like there's going to be enough mutas here to take everything out. Oh my god. But how does he do this? Still defending on the top. There aren't enough mutas. Wow. So the stem unloading quick enough. I don't know why he didn't focus down that dropship first. He ended up focusing on the individual Marines. The medics out healing these mutas. And so just doing costly trade here for Effort. The lurker does come over here to clean up this Marine Effort though. That drop though, in my eyes, was very successful for Mind because he was able to take out so many mutalisks in that engagement. So it looks like the Marines coming in here. Oh, they'll irradiate on one of the lurkers already. Is he going to irradiate one more lurker here? Yes, it does look like he will get that irradiate off. Dark Swarm, though, pushing these right side forces. Mine split a little bit too much here. And as you haven't seen yet, there is a third base taken at the right 3 o'clock position. I guess 3-4 position for mine. So it is a 3 base Terran play. Moving in with these vultures here. So many vultures. He's just doing a huge mineral dump into vultures, using the spider mines around the base to kind of corral units where he wants them. And he will be able to take down this 4th base. What is Effort going to do from here? If he loses this 3rd, he's going to be in such a horrible position. This is a critical moment for Effort. Can he climb his way back in? Oh, the Vulture's going to clean up at that 3 o'clock position. Or the 3rd base positioning for mine here. And oh, the Scourger chasing down these science vessels. He's going to get any beautiful shots off by the Marines. And it looks like the crowd is into it. That person being really caught off guard by the camera. Well, perfect shot there. Somebody gift that. Okay, so we are just seeing the brilliance of Neo Jade. It's just an amazing map to watch at TVZ, apparently. And Effort, can he continue to expand? So it looks like mine's kind of taking a back seat here. He wants to take an additional base. And fortunately for Effort, he's going to be able to get a decent army supply out of this. But there's still so many science vessels, and he has to deal with the science vessel threat. He needs more Scourge right now. Oh, another engagement. A drop ship at the natural base. It's going to push back these drones and kill off many. This is beautiful drop play by mine so far. We've seen 3 very successful drops. And each time he does this, he's just sending Effort further and further behind. It looks like he will be cleaned up, though. The Scourge taking out that dropship. The Marines getting killed off. And a Dark Swarm over the Lurkers. I guess that's kind of a preemptive Dark Swarm. Oh, Radiate there, killing off a Scourge, actually. But one of the science vessels does go down. So continuing to Dark Swarm at that natural base. Mine's just going to have to pack up and leave once again. Unable to break down this relentless... this refusing to die Zerg player. So the command center being built at the bottom left, that's going to send mine into 4 bases. And that 4 base economy is going to be super strong. And, oh, wow. Did you see that mine drag into killing off those SCVs? Kind of an epic drag, I would say so myself. And these Lings are just running past the mines. They were refusing to care. And that was a plague on those science vessels, but unfortunately the plague was not successful and only plagued those poor Marines. Vultures coming in here to clean up that 3 o'clock position, or the 3rd base position again. I'm sorry, I guess it is kind of the 3 o'clock. But moving forward here, lots of Vultures still on the map, and the SCVs are getting transferred over to this left position. It's kind of an over transfer. I think maybe he's thinking about, mine's thinking about the possibility of building another command center to go at the 8 o'clock position. So we're seeing here that Mind has the +1 upgrade for his mech already, and only +1 carapace is done for the Zerg. So really the upgrade situation is pretty bad for Zerg. Effort needs to get the +2 carapace, +1 attack, send himself forward into this tech game. The only thing he's really relying on as far as tech goes are these defilers that are constantly getting irradiated, and so not killing off enough science vessels, it's going to continue to hurt him. And one more shot from the Vultures. He does take out that defiler. So another great shot by mine. He's microing so many places on this map, playing very well. But here come 2 more Scourge. Are they going to just gloss over these science vessels? I think he had an opportunity to pick them off. So it looks like 2 Dark Swarms just sitting there. And Effort's just going to have to do a massive hold on his natural base one more time. Meanwhile, it looks like Mind is preparing to turret and then command center up that 8 o'clock position here. A nice first-person view. I want to see how Effort is actually making these decisions. So focused right now. I don't even know if he's blinked this entire engagement. That actually was pretty incredible. 0 blinking, just eyes glued on the screen here. Pushing out with this Dark Swarm. Mine doesn't want to lose these tanks quite yet. And if he had stayed in that siege position, he does not have enough melee ranged units, basically. That I call melee, but like Firebats, they have that short range, which allows them to attack under the Dark Swarm. So pretty much the short range units here. And whoa, 2 SCV science vessels getting picked off right now. 3 science vessels. Looks like the count's getting picked off right now. And Zerglings are going to be moving over to this 8 o'clock base. There's not really a lot of science vessels over here, but the Lings might be able to take out this command center. Is that a possibility here? Now Goliaths have been added into this mix. It looks like Mind has gone full mech. 2 factories over at the bottom left too. So this is really good. +2 attack weapons upgrades for Mind's mech army. And that's just going to be huge. I think it's a +4 multiplier per upgrade on those tanks. So that's going to be really strong here. Running through these minefields though. He's got to be, Effort's got to be really efficient with how the Lings trade against these spider mines. Even though they are relatively cheap, the spider mines are even cheaper if you think about it. So this looks like a floating building over at the top left. I guess it might be a scouting building. Yes, it is a barracks. Wow, which is gonna block the drone from being able to get this base at the 10 o'clock position. So that's actually really cool. I don't know if I've ever seen a Terran player move buildings to block off a Zerg player this late in the game. So okay, so we are seeing more vultures and tanks and Goliaths. Oh my, they are pushing up towards that 4 o'clock base again. Once again, trying to break down Effort. Effort is going to be forced to take that 12 o'clock base instead of the 10 o'clock as his 5th mining base. All the bases are getting taken up pretty quickly though by Mind. It looks like he's just doing a complete Occupy Neo Jade. These Lings, they should be able to clean it up. They do have the adrenal upgrades and now they're going to be looking super fierce here. Oh, but the tanks with those upgrades going to be way too strong. I don't know if this mech force can be dealt with. It's going to come down to plagues and dark swarms once again here. So Lings are going to be trying to pick off what they can. Another huge engagement here to the left. Effort realizing that he needs to clean off this base. Going to take off those last few Marines. And now going to be attacking that barracks. I wonder if Mind's going to actually be paying attention enough to lift off that building and fly it away. No, it looks like it's going to get completely eliminated by that Zergling threat. And now they're going to be moving down to this possible bottom left. Mind actually expanded down to the 7 o'clock position here too. So he does have a couple locations that he's going to have to defend as best as possible against these Ling counter attacks here. Now the tanks and Goliaths are going to be taking out that 5 o'clock position. It has been completely eliminated. Now it looks like just relying on low mineral counts at the main and natural base and a decent mineral count at the 3rd and 4th. Effort still, he has economy to hang in here, but he doesn't have the army supply to cut down this Terran force. Dark Swarm though, can this be the place where Effort brings his game back in his favor? Huge plague. That's exactly what I was talking about. This is what was needed. And without SCVs there to repair, there's going to be 1 hit point tanks on the map. And if the Lings can just barely hit these tanks here, and then the tanks will die almost immediately. Mind's going to continue to just try and keep this great tank wall down in the middle of the map though, trying to control as much space as possible. It looks like a 5th base by Effort is going to be taken out once again at this 10 o'clock position. And this is a lot of Lings and Ultralists now. We're seeing cows on the field. The cows are running forward here under the Dark Swarm. It looks like they're going to be able to gauge into the melee range of these tanks. And the tanks are going to die so quickly here. Very nice moves. +5 on the armor upgrade. So it looks like that awesome armor upgrade for the Ultralists has been upgraded. Now the +2 melee attack also paying off in dividends here. That means the Lings also with their adrenal glands are going to have those +2 attacking upgrades, and this is going to be really devastating. If they can get within range of those tanks, everything will get killed off so quickly here. Unfortunately, those Lurkers having a lot more trouble trying to get within range of the mech forces. Mind's getting pushed back here though. He's got to be really careful. This is another huge engagement here, and the Ultralists actually getting to the back line. They are in the back line here attacking those 3 tanks, and there's not going to be enough support. Effort might be able to take this out. A really nice D-Matrix though to make those Ultralists die a lot quicker. Double irradiate too, and the tanks coming back using their non-siege mode to attack here, because there's no time to get the siege. Once you're dealing with melee, you've just got to maintain that tank mode. And a couple Ultras going down to that bottom location, the 7 o'clock base, under fire with these Ultralists here. A few SCVs taken out, and that Ultralist is having a real hard time killing off what's left. It will finally die off here. Okay, so just a random Ultralisk again, getting taken out really quickly by these unsieged tanks. Wow, there's so many getting ready to go onto that high ground. Yes, if you don't remember, just even the slightest of ramp is going to give you the high ground advantage. And the Lynx are going to clean up that 7 o'clock base. Just that Hero Ling, 9 kills, 10 kills now. It looks like it's going to be going for an 11th here. Not getting killed off. Mind lifting that command center here. Meanwhile, another engagement. Double Dark Swarm down on the low side of that ramp. Oh, these Ultras are getting within range of flank from the left. The Zergling's doing so much damage here. And this is looking kind of bad for Mind. He's got a lot of bases, but he's not managing his army really well. And maybe this is exactly what Effort needs. He is taking additional base at that 10 o'clock position too. So Zerg gonna have that extra income coming in here, but he's still got to trade as efficiently as possible. Mind can afford to lose a lot because he has so many bases, but he's got quite a mountain to climb as far as SCV count is concerned. He can't mass build SCVs quite the same way Zerg can mass build drones. So Ultra's getting killed off again, but I don't know if he's doing enough damage. Okay, so 2 Lings in here. Are they going to do the same damage that 1 Ling did, the 11 count Ling, before it does get killed off? Oh, and the Ultralisk coming in here. Is he going to get one more tank before he does die? So drones are going to be escorted over to the bottom left. Unfortunately for Mine, he's not going to be able to have any units over there to kill off those drones, and he's actually losing SCVs at this left location base. It finally does get cleaned up. There is a decent mech army still on the map, and no Dark Swarm here is going to make this engagement not very efficient. This is the kind of engagement Mind wants to put cause Effort to get forced into. Not having defilers along with these melee units is still pretty bad here. And the Minefield's getting those free kills, like I said earlier. Any Mind trade with any unit of Zerg is just a beautiful trade. That's exactly what Mind wants to force upon Effort. So still a lot of Science Vessels not dead yet. And, you know, we're not going to see a lot of Scourge here because Effort's really got to focus on his ground forces here. And so that's a huge problem. If he can't kill off that Science Vessel account, Terran will win. It's pretty much a guarantee because that regenerating irradiate energy is just going to be so brutal against the Zerg army. So we are seeing still that there is mining bases, 3 mining bases, but the natural just about to mine out. Nothing quite left for Effort at that right location. So his main and natural are only going to be used for building more and more units. Otherwise, the larva is useless. Those hatcheries aren't that great. And he needs to have a 5th base. It is all going to come down to, can he really hold that 12 o'clock location? Because he needs to get the extra minerals and gas here. But Mech army of Mind is looking so strong right now. I wonder if he's gotten the +3 on his upgrades yet. And Mind's looking completely focused here. He does not look like he is fatigued by the fact that this has been such a long game. Guys, we're 30 minutes into this game, and this is about as good as a late TVZ as it can get. The Scorch are coming in here. Like I said, he's got to build these Scorch and take out these Science Vessels, but so many getting taken out by the long-range upgraded Goliaths here in 3-3. How can a Zerg deal with 3-3? Oh, man, this is going to be so tough. Unless you have maxed out Zerg, this is going to be quite the problem here. +3 carapace has been completed, though. So at least that far has come along for Effort. And he's trying to drag in a lot of mines here. The mines, they haven't gone off quite yet. And actually just repositioned themselves around the vultures. Kind of like a Bermuda Triangle style mines there. The fact that it didn't go off. And oh, that's going to be GG. So Effort put in a great fight there, but it looks like Mind is just going to be way too strong. Going to take that wind, and that's going to put him up in the first ranking of his group. So if we look at Group A, it's going to be Sack, Mind, Effort, and Movie, with Effort and Movie being on the bottom of the bracket, and Sack and Mind being pushed to the top. So it's going to be a battle for possible first place out of this group. TVT battle, which will be played next Wednesday. It's going to be Sack versus Mind. Sack is the reigning best TVT player in the world. So that's going to be a very worthwhile, exciting matchup to watch. So thank you for listening and watching Group A with me. And find Group B's VOD if you're not watching this stream. And it will be ready for you too very shortly. So Group B, we're going to have Last versus Olympus, a TVP. Thank you guys, and I hope you appreciated watching Group A's match.